Hey guys, what's up? Nick here once again, and today we're going to be doing a full unboxing and overview of the original Zune MP3 player. So let's get right into it. If you don't know the craze of Zune, essentially this is a tale as old as time, or at least as old as technology as we know it. The Zune was Microsoft's essentially competitor to Apple's iPod. So the iPod, which we recently just did a full unboxing of the iPod Nano 5th generation, if you want to check it out on my channel. And if you want to see more unboxings or retro unboxings like this, let me know in the comment section below. And I will definitely check out some more in the future, like maybe the original classic or whatever I can find, essentially, to do some videos on. But I really wanted to do one on the Zune. I've always wanted the original Zune. I've just never got my hands on one because they were stinking expensive when these first came out. And I'm going to be 30 in less than a month. I was born in 1994. And I remember around the time the Zunes came out, I was still it was either early high school, late middle school, and I just didn't have the funds at the time. I didn't even have enough money to get an iPod. So I was one of those kids running around with like the 2 GB little MP3 players from Creative or maybe Philips or any of those that you may remember. But I remember Zune was like the talk of the town for quite a while because it was the only competitor to the Apple iPod. And this is before the days of the iPhones and everybody having music on their phones. So in reality, these things have pretty much made MP3 players obsolete because we don't need them anymore. Now, obviously, you can make a case and say, well, what if you're going to go work out or something and you want something a little bit less intrusive on you? Then sure, yeah, an MP3 player is probably a good idea instead of having your big bulking phone on you at all times of the day. And you got smartwatches that have also taken the place for those. So in reality, there really isn't a reason to have any type of MP3 player these days. But needless to say, it's still fun to take a look back and see where we came from with technology in just the past 15, 20 years. So this is the Zune 30 GB model. I know that there was different sizes and different colors. I don't remember which color this is because I ordered this a couple weeks ago, but I'm really excited to get into it. And of course, we do have the original box here. It is not brand new. As you can see, it has been opened. The seal has been broken, but essentially this is like new condition is what the owner said. So I'm really curious to see what it's going to look like when we get inside of the box. But looking around the box, wow, I do love the minimal packaging. I mean, you can clear as day see they were going for an Apple aesthetic here, even though this is Microsoft. But they were doing their best, and I have to hand it to them. I know a lot of people thought this was super ugly at the time. I remember a lot of people making fun of the Zunes. I gotta admit, I think it looks like a really cool retro style. I like the look of the Zune. And granted, there was only a couple color choices. I think there was like a black, a white, and a weird brown color. I wasn't a huge fan of the brown. I'm hoping that's not the one we have here, but it will be kind of funny if it is. But I do like the black and the white. I think they do just stick out and they get the job done. And it had a big screen for it at the time, but it is a chunky device. And it already feels pretty heavy even in this box. Nothing on the sides. On the bottom here, we just have the serial numbers and more of the information that you'd see for what's going to be inside the box. So, computer running Windows XP or later. That's how you know how old this thing is. 200 megabytes of RAM, or free space, I should say. USB port 2.0 recommended. We have 3.0 these days. Supports MP3, WMA, WMV, and JPEG. So you could put photos on this. I don't know if this had video playback, but I'm going to try to put some files on it and see what happens. And this is from 2006. So I was in middle school. This was 6th grade for me. That is crazy. So it's been a little while. 14-day return privilege. Do you think if I call them up, I'll get a return? Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. So this just slides off. Very cool. Welcome to the social. And the funny thing about this, I do kind of remember that the whole reason why they were going for this social aspect is they wanted to turn Zunes into a social media device, essentially, like to connect with other people who have Zunes and to kind of have them drink the Kool-Aid, if you will, to get them to buy a Zune, and it would kind of just take off. That never worked, obviously. That never happened. But it's kind of interesting how far they really wanted to go with this whole social aspect of the Zune, when in reality, it was just a music player. So we'll put the box to the side here. Nothing else really here except for a tab looks like we can pull out. So this, oh, okay. So this looks like the manuals and maybe like a carrying case. Let's see what's in here. Oh, nice little, okay. It's got a little stain on it. It's been used, obviously, but it is a little nice carrying case. Got the Zune logo on there. Pretty neat. This is where you put your headphones in the device itself, I'm assuming. Oh, man, what is this? the original pamphlet here. This is where the discs is for the drivers. Maybe? I don't know what this is. Maybe a warranty thing was in there at one point. So we got instruction manual, the start menu. Let's see what's in here. So we got press and hold the play pause button for 3 seconds, volume up. Okay, so it tells you how to use it essentially. How to connect it to a computer. Yep, load the startup software. I doubt that software is even going to work. I'm probably have to find some third-party software on my computer to actually run this thing, but we'll see. And then on the other side, we have the product guide. And, oh, this would have been the disc, but okay, so we didn't get the disc. They must have lost that, sadly. So, yep, we're going to have to find some type of online manual, or online drivers, I should say. That's all right. Not the end of the world. Still kind of cool that they kept at least all this stuff. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was just going to be the MP3 player, and that was it. What else is in here? It looks like a USB cable and nothing else. That's all that was in there. Oh my god, that's right. This also had a proprietary... Do you remember back in the early 2000s to mid-2000s, everything had a proprietary connector? There was no USB-C, there was no micro USB, there was no mini USB. It was just like these random, proprietary connectors. Very annoying because this cable broke. Well, good luck to you. Got to find another one online somewhere. Yeah, we got USB 2.0. Beautiful. Just a complete ripoff of the 30-pin connector from Apple. But I do like the look of this. It looks a little cooler than the 30-pin. I'm not sure why. Oh, okay. So this is supposed to be... Well, that's not good. I wonder if that's not even going to work then. Because it's got to push in to, get it out. Well, I guess once it's in, it's never coming out. Good luck to us, I suppose. We'll see if this will even work. I am also kind of wondering if the battery is going to be shot because it's a lithium-ion battery, and you guys know as years go by, even if you don't use the device, lithium-ion tends to be kind of shot. So I will be very surprised if this thing will even work in the first place. Oh, but here she is. All right, so there is the Zune. It is the black color. I'm happy about that. It's got a little tab here to pull it out. Look at that. So she's obviously got some signs of use. I'm not really too worried about that, but the actual body doesn't look too bad at all. Yeah, it actually is pretty good condition. I'm not mad about that. But there she is. That is the 30 gig model. It's got a nice matte textured feeling on the back. Very nice to hold in the hand. It's got a nice heft to it as well. On the top we have a lock switch. How does that even work? Okay. Not much travel on it, but it is a lock switch. So if you are locked, it's got the orange glow behind it. You got the headphone jack, because this does not have, to my knowledge, Bluetooth built in. Again, this is around a time when Bluetooth really wasn't a thing yet. Proprietary charging connector. Nothing else. Everything else is right on the front. This click wheel looking thing. However, this is not a click wheel. It's not a capacitive touch wheel. This is none of that. This is actually just straight up a D-pad. You got up, down, left, right, click in the middle for play and pause. Actually, no, you got a play and pause button right here and a back button here. So this is a very interesting setup. I mean, maybe for games or something, they really wanted to get the D-pad there, but it's interesting they have a separate button straight for play and pause. What's the point of the middle button then if that's not play and pause? But we'll hopefully get into that in a minute if we can have some juice. I doubt this has any juice in it, but, just for giggles, let's see what happens. Said to hold down the middle button to see if it boots up, but again, there's no way this is gonna have juice in it. Yeah, did not think so, but that would have been really cool. We had the hold off. Yep. All right. Well, let's see what's else in the box, and then we'll try plugging into the computer and see if we can get any juice out of it. Whoa. Okay. So there originally was something here. Maybe headphones, possibly. On this side. Oh. No, these are headphones. Oh my god, these are just the most generic. Ugh. They are Zune. These are the official ones that came with it. They even got replacement earbud or ear foam tips or whatever. Oh my god. These feel like $2 RCA cheapo earbuds. These earbuds will destroy your ears. Yeah. I'm not even going to test these. They're pretty garbage, but obviously, tried to go with the Apple look. It just made them black, little silver accents. Kind of reminds me of what Samsung's doing these days with copying Apple's designs as well. But yeah, nothing too crazy here. Silver plated, not even gold plated. So yeah, these are very cheapo. I mean, for the time, I want to say this thing was like $300. It was around $300 or $400, and that's back in 2006. So you can only imagine how much that would be today. So to give you these, that's kind of a slap in the face. I'm not gonna lie. These should have definitely came with some better headphones, but who knows? Maybe the sound quality is better than what I'm thinking it is, but I would not bet on that. Put that to the side. I don't know if this has anything else. Yeah, this is literally nothing. Like, this whole box, well, it sounds like there's something in there. Hold on. It's this little, yeah, just a USB protector. All right, so that's it. That was everything in the box. It's a huge box for absolutely no reason, because you can see how deep this goes. It only goes to, like, here. So, I suppose, I guess it was for the manuals, but even so, they could have cut out a lot of packaging there. Whatever. At least it made it interesting. It made the unboxing experience take a lot longer than it should have. So that was pretty cool. So, yeah, with all that, I'm going to get everything packaged up again, and let's try to plug this into the PC. I'm going to see if I can get anything on it and get some juice in it. And if so, we'll be back. All right, it's only been a couple minutes, but I did plug it in. We do have juice going to it, so that is a good sign. The screen seems to be working. Backlight seems to be working as well, which is good to see. So I'm going to see if I can get the drivers on my computer to get it actually loaded up with stuff. Maybe we'll just have to use it with this plugged in, just like I did with the iPod. So yeah, see you guys in a second. All right, so as you can see, we got the Zune up and running from the PC. It is connected currently. However, I could not get this thing to sync with my PC at all. I even found an old forum on Reddit of there's a pretty big community still out there to this day that use Zunes, and they update Zunes, and they do different mods and stuff on them, but I didn't want to get into any of that. I just wanted to get the original software so that I could actually transfer my own stuff onto it. And even though I followed their instructions and I found their zip file of the software that works with Windows 11, I got it all installed, and the program seems to be running just fine. But for some reason, it just does not recognize my device. Now, I don't know if it might be a different USB port I have to use or something, but I just didn't feel like going through all of the rigmarole of figuring that out, because, thankfully, the previous owner already has stuff on it. Now, this might be stuff that might have been preloaded on the device. Like, if they did a factory reset, it might have put this stuff back on there when you first get it to test it out, which kind of makes sense, because some of this stuff, I don't know if I believe this person actually had on their device, like Beethoven. And I don't know, just this stuff kind of feels like very generic stuff that I don't think a regular human would have put on there, but I could be wrong. It's hard to say. But as you can see, the actual interface is pretty bare bones. So it's pretty much what we got with the iPod, but instead of having that nice tactical scroll wheel, we just have the up and down buttons that are pretty hard to touch, actually. They have a good, satisfying click feedback, but you really have to press down on it to use the D-pad. But yeah, we have a pretty bare bones situation here. I wish the text filled up more of the screen. It kind of feels like a little bit of a waste having the text this small on this giant screen, but maybe that's just me. We have the battery indicator down here, play or pause if we're playing music or whatever in the bottom there as well. So we have music, videos, pictures, a radio, community, again, kind of that social aspect they were trying to do, settings. One thing that was interesting when I went into the settings, I noticed there is a wireless mode. Now, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, because again, I never owned a Zune. From what I could gather, the wireless is actually not technically using Wi-Fi for like internet purposes or using Bluetooth for music purposes or headphones purposes. Apparently, the wireless is to connect from Zune to Zune in order to transfer music to each other. And I remember this. I remember there being this whole hubbub about the wordage they used for sending music to other Zunes. And I think it was called squirting or something. I'm not even kidding. It was like, you're going to squirt to your friend or something. It was a very weird word. I hope I'm not just making that up, but I swear that's what I saw at some point in time. And it was really gross and weird. And I obviously did not take off. It did not do well. And yeah, when you turn wireless on, it doesn't give you any options to like connect to Wi-Fi or to connect to Bluetooth. So that's why I'm assuming it's just Zune to Zune. So maybe if you're in the vicinity of another Zune that also has wireless turned on, it'll pop up with notification. I don't know. But that is kind of interesting. When I saw that, I was like, what the heck? We also have online status, which we have detailed basic. So again, this might just be if someone's near you, it might pop up with more details depending on what you want to see from that person. We have the radio, sounds on and off. So if I had headphones plugged in, you'd be hearing like beeping noises when I'm going up and down. Display, not a whole lot of difference or changes we can do here. We have the backlight always on, or you can switch it to different amounts of time. So if you want to turn off automatically, Brightness, I have it on low right now because the higher you go, the harder it is to see on camera. So I'm going to leave it on low. There is low, medium, high. We have TV out, so apparently you could have gotten some type of proprietary converter that would convert this to a TV out, like at the time, probably not HDMI, but maybe those original composite cables, and you could essentially blow anything up on here onto a TV, like if you have a movie on here or something, because 30 gigabytes back then was a lot of storage. And then we have our themes, so there's a whopping 3 to choose from. To customize your Zune with your own background, view the picture, press OK, then select Apply as background. So that is kind of cool that in 06, this is pretty rare. This was not something you'd see very often. I don't even think the iPod had this feature yet, from what I can remember at this time. Might be wrong. But yeah, in the device itself, you can go to a picture and save that as your actual background. But you do have themes right off the bat. You have haze, night, and amber. I think haze looked the best. Again, we have our back button over here. If you want to go back to the main home screen here, we'll just keep going back. Speaking of pictures, let's check that out real quick. Is there anything on here? Oh, there actually is. I hope I'm not looking at somebody's actual picture. Oh, yeah, it is. All right, I'm not going to go into these because, again, I don't want to dox anybody. I don't know who had this before I did. Holy crap, they had a whole... Wow. I hope they have these backed up somewhere because I don't want to delete all these and lose them because that would be really sad. But, you know, maybe I'll reach out to the guy and I'll be like, hey, all these pictures are on here. Do you want them sent to you? Because I could transfer those to you. So I'll maybe update that in the comments when we figure that out. But yeah, those are pictures from the previous owner. So obviously, I'm not going to go into those to show you here, but you can blow them up on the full screen here. I did check out a video file on here. I don't think this video is theirs. I think this was built into it when they got the device. So I'm only going to go to this one. I don't know what... I don't want to know what that is. I don't know what that is, but I want to see what this is. So play it from the beginning. One thing I noticed, there's no accelerometer in here, so it doesn't know which orientation you're at. It only works in landscape. So you have to turn it to this way to see it in the proper orientation. It doesn't work the other way. There might be a way in the settings to flip it, but I could not figure that out. You're also going to notice on my camera here, there's a lot of scan lines going on, and I think that's just my camera. Really, it's not. You're not going to see that in person. Like in person, it actually looks pretty clear. It's just for some reason this is like a black and white video, and I'm pretty sure this is a color display. So I don't know why they installed a black and white video on the Zune, but it is what it is. So this is just like different landscapes and just different weird, you know, visual stuff for the video. But it works pretty good. It's a good video player. You can look at the... Oh, okay. So the middle button just lets you see more details on the video. And then you have the play and pause, obviously. You can go forward, go back. Up and down, I think, is your volume. Yep, that's your volume. So, yeah, kind of neat. Nice little video player on the go if you wanted that back then. I think a lot of people probably did because there wasn't a lot of that, at least around this time when they came out. So, yeah, obviously, like I said, there's a lot of different... There's some music videos. Here's The Kill. Let's go to that. See this? I just want to see a video with color on it. See how good this display actually looks. Because from what I've seen so far, yeah, it's pretty washed out. Like, it doesn't look terrible. I mean, in person, it looks better than what it does on camera. The camera's not doing it justice. Clarity-wise, I will say, resolution-wise, it actually looks very clear. It's a very clear and vivid display. But I shouldn't say vivid, because the colors are very muted. It's got a very warm tone to it. That might be by design. I don't know. That might be a setting. Not that I could figure out, but it's definitely a very warm tone to the Zune. So it really just depends on what you're looking for in a portable media device. But personally, I'm not a huge fan of this display in terms of its color accuracy. But everything else, I mean, it's very sharp. It's a very good resolution display. I don't know the settings on the top of my head, what the actual resolution is. If I was to guess, it's probably 480p. Because it doesn't look that bad. It might even be 720. I doubt it is. That'd be a very, very big stretch. But it's a very high-quality screen. It looks very clear. So at least there's that. Text looks very good on it as well. So let's go back here. All right, so that was the videos. Kind of the same thing with pictures, obviously. Let's see what this community thing is all about. Nearby, here we go. Wireless is off. To find nearby devices, go to settings and turn wireless on. So not only do you have to have wireless on, but you have to purposely go into this app, basically, and look for nearby people. You can message people, apparently, with inboxes. This must have been their old account. So wow. So you literally could like send people messages and videos and stuff with their Zune. They were trying to make this the original iPhone, kind of, but obviously that did not take off. That's super interesting that they really wanted to make this a community device instead of just a portable media device. And then of course we have our music library. So this is where I absolutely hate the D-pad compared to like the scroll wheel on an iPod because this is tedious. I mean, you can hold down. Oh, I don't know what I just did. I thought I would. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. What is this? I don't know what I just did. All right, but you can hold down to go faster. You can see it starts going by letter at that point, which is nice. But it's not as accurate or as satisfying as using the scroll wheel. Yeah, let's just go to, I don't know, just a random song. The mating game. Play all. So you do have a really nice and beautiful cover art to your music, which is really cool to see. This, again, was very rare for the time. You can scrub. Looks like, yep, you can scrub to the music left or right. Oh, maybe not. Maybe just scrub forward. Let me try going back again. So at 114, let's try going backwards. Okay, yeah, there you go. And then if you go up and down, that's going to be your volume. Simple as that. Pressing in. This brings you to, you can see the song list. You can turn shuffle on and off, repeat off and on. You can send it. So again, send is where you can send it to a friend with that community thing. So you can also rate it apparently, or maybe the ratings from the app, I'm assuming. Play and pause down in the corner. You can leave it playing and then you can go back to the main menu while it's playing, as you can see down there. So all around, I think the interface, even though it is bare bones looking, especially if you look at the Zune HD, which actually was the one I ended up getting later in life, and I loved my Zune HD. But then when smartphones became smartphones, you know, it didn't need it anymore. But that interface is exactly what we see on the app on the computer, and I love the look of that Zune HD interface. I wish they would have brought that to the older Zunes, and they might have. This might be like a firmware that's out of date for all I know. But from what I'm seeing here, this is a more original bare bones look at what they were trying to do with the Zune. However, I will say it technically does look a little bit better than what we got on the iPod Classics back in the day. It is less white, less contrasting blacks. There's more of a theme to it. It just feels a little bit more new age, if you will. And I like it. I like the contrasting with the black background and the white text. I think this is even an OLED display. It looks almost OLED. So, yeah, they clearly were going for something a little bit different than what the iPod was doing at the time. And you got to commend them for that. You got to give them a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of a push for that. I also do like, now that I'm getting a closer look at it, the two-tone finish of the front as well. You got more of a black on the back with that matte finish, and on the front's kind of a frosted black. So all around, it's a very unique and just really cool design. I have to hand Microsoft to it for trying something new, trying to stand out, but in the end, they just kind of got made fun of, and they, in my opinion, unfairly, got made fun of and just kind of left out to rot. They really didn't get their time to shine. They kept trying to come back with new versions of the Zune. I know there's like a slimmer version of the Zune, and then there's, of course, the Zune HD, but that's all we really got, and then it ended up dying. I think the other big issue is that they really just were trying too hard to push the social media aspect of the Zune. That just doesn't make much sense to me. Not sure why they kept pushing that. They should have stayed true to what they were. They were not a social media device. They were meant to be a portable media device, which is totally fine. And I think would have sold well if they just would have lowered that price point. They just were too expensive out the gate. They just didn't have that backing like Apple already did for the iPod to be successful, whereas this is all brand new. Zune is brand new. No one ever heard of the Zune before. So it's a bummer. It is a bummer because this thing is really cool. It's got a nice feel to it. This thing feels premium. It honestly feels like something that could have came out yesterday and you would never know. Like you would look at this, except for the proprietary connector, honestly. If this was USB-C, you could look at this from a mile away and be like, hey, that came out yesterday and I believe you. It's just got that unique of a design. It's a really cool design. And it feels really good in the hands, a nice heft to it. But it's just a shame. It's a bummer that this thing didn't get the love that it honestly deserved. And even processing-wise, it's pretty quick. I noticed with a lot of older iPods, they have a little bit of a lag here and there going from menu to menu, especially as media is playing. But even in the video player, I felt like the menu loads pretty quickly. I don't really have any gripes with that really at all. The only downside is this D-pad. If they just would have copied Apple more and just used some type of scroll wheel or a touch capacitive thing, I think it would have been a lot better. It just kind of sucks we got stuck with the D-pad. So that is the Zune 30GB model unboxing / overview and in-depth look at it in 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to leave a like to show your support as always. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Hope we see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.